This is a video for post-mix number 1 and hybrid mix techniques. In this video, we're going to set up the Pro Tools session for internal layback. That is how to get it set up in advance so you can print your mix into Pro Tools. Of course, we're looking on the Pepsi commercial here, and it's very simple, and I've already named the file. That's something you would have already needed to do, and I've already done an I/O reset, so there's nothing assigned anywhere. So here's the process. We need to create a track. What we need to do is we need to take all these tracks, and these are the tracks in the session, and we need to route them all to a bus. We're not going to send them all out 1 and 2. We're going to send them all out a mix bus. So I'm going to hold Option down and Shift down because I've selected all these guys. So if I were to hold Option, boom, I've just selected them all. And now I'm going to hold Option Shift, which I actually don't have to do right now. I could just hold down Option, and I go bus 1 and 2. So all these guys are going to a bus. I can't hear anything. That bus is not going out in output, but I'm sending them to a bus. And I'm going to name that bus. If I hold right click on it, I'm going to rename that bus, and I'm going to call it Mix or Mix Bus or something along those lines. Now this ref track, this is kind of a special thing here. This ref track is not actually part of my mix. It's the original commercials audio. And I want to send that original commercials audio right out outputs 1 and 2 going to my speakers. So right now I'm on a laptop, I'm not at school, but you'd go out 1 and 2 if you were in Studio C. Now these other guys, they're going to a mix bus. They're not going to 1 and 2. We got to do a couple steps before we send them out outputs 1 and 2 on the Pro Tools rig. So then the first thing we're going to do is Command-Shift-N. We'll open up the new track window. Of course, that's under track, new track. And you're going to make a stereo aux input. You are kind of making a master fader, but I don't want you to use a master fader. The aux input is a superior way of doing this. So we're going to create a 1 stereo aux input, and it's right here. And we're going to call that our mix master or our master or something along those lines. That's our master fader. And we're going to source that from the mix bus. So its input needs to be sourced from the mix bus. So now all of these tracks are feeding that mix bus. Now I have to solo safe it, so I don't, every time I solo something, I don't have to go over here and solo too. I want to solo safe. So multiple soloing is really the pit. So I'm holding Command down and I'm hitting S. Now that's solo saved. And this master track has to go somewhere. Well, it's not going out 1 and 2, folks. Nope. It's going on another bus. So let's use bus 3 and 4. And let's name that, right-clicking, rename, print bus. Or print, whatever you want to do. Let's be consistent here with the earlier approach. Print bus is what I'm naming it. Now, we're going to make a stereo track. This is the track we're going to record our mix to internally. So Command-Shift-New or track, new track. And I'm going to create a stereo audio track. And ultimately, this is where the print will go. Ultimately, you want to name it appropriately for your audio file that you're going to print, but I'm just going to call it print right now. And I'm going to source that from the print bus. So print bus. And it can go out the main outputs. So these 2 tracks here are both going out the main output. I have to put this one in input, so I'm holding I down. Now, if I play this stuff, it's going to go through the master fader, through the print bus, through the master to the print bus, and we'll hear it output, okay? So you can see here's the master fader bringing it down. And the reason why I'm still hearing audio is the ref mix, the original audio, is kind of parallel to it. So if I bring that ref mix down or I just mute it, I'll go back and I'll hear the master fader. And of course I can mute it at the print or I can mute it at the master fader. I'm going to hold the Option down, reset that back to 0. And that's the first step. We have a second video for the second step.